Just after the new year of 1931 began, Clark Thread Company, headquartered in Newark, New Jersey, announced that it had purchased 1,000 acres of Cobb County farmland between Austell and Powder Springs to build not only a 40,000 spindle thread plant, but also a town to go along with it, housing the more than 1,000 workers needed to work at the plant and their families. By December 1931, the Clark Thread Mill began its operation at the Clarkdale plant, and 50 new company-owned homes were built on streets named after important names and places to the Clark Company, like Newark Avenue, Clark Street, even a street named Bothwell Street, named for the first mill John Clark owned in Scotland in 1854. Among the Clark competitors in the thread business were James and Peter Coates. They will need each other later. This is the quaint street where the first 50 Coates Company mill houses were built in 1931. In most of the households, both the husband and wife worked at either the thread plant or one of the other businesses needed to run the town. There were 2 churches, a school, a community center, a bowling alley, and store. Some of the homes, like this white house on the right, were duplexes, built mainly for single workers or those without children. A popular country singer grew up here on Newark Avenue. You know him as Ray Stevens, but he was born Harold Ray Ragsdale. Both his parents worked at the mill during the 1930s and early 40s. Looking through old newspapers, one thing I kept seeing were articles about Clarkdale's baseball teams. They were nationally ranked and played all over the country. Recreation was very important in Clarkdale. It seemed the company provided all of the amenities for their workers. During World War II, the company had government contracts, and only thread for the war effort was produced at this plant. Also, the company passed a resolution in which all employees, married or single men with dependents, who were called to military service would be paid their regular wages during their training, less their service pay. Single men without dependents would be paid half their present salary, minus their service pay. In 1954, the J&P Coates Company merged with Clark Thread Company, forming Coates and Clark. The company is still in business today, but this plant closed in 1983 after over 50 years of continuous contribution to the textile industry. The plant building is now home to Austell government agencies and a law enforcement training facility. The company sold the houses in 1966, giving current residents the opportunity to buy them, and most took advantage of the opportunity. The Clarkdale community is located between Austell and Powder Springs in Cobb County, Georgia, just northeast of Atlanta. It is one of the best preserved mill towns in Georgia. Thanks for joining me.